Rook Island, kid.
So I'm here with Jamie Keane from Far Cry 3. Now, Far Cry 1 set on an island, lush, tropical. Far Cry 2 in a sort of African hinterland. What's Far Cry 3? Where's that going to be? Is it the Arctic or?
We're going back and revisiting this kind of tropical island setting. It's very much about this kind of like this beautiful lush paradise, but it's really got teeth. You know, we don't want it to just be, you know, we want you to feel like, you know, you're on holiday and you're off and you're kind of like, oh wow, this place is great. And then we want a tiger to come and tear your throat out. Jason Brody, who's the character you do play, he's this kind of like, you know, 20-something West Coast American guy, and basically him and his mates are out and they're just off, you know, island hopping, you know, maybe, you know, kind of doing the sort of thing that you maybe want to do. You know, you head off after school, you go traveling, you know, go and experience the world and see things that are out there, and then they just make a bit of a wrong turn and they end up in the wrong place at the wrong time and all hell breaks loose.
So they wake up in a sort of shack, really, but it's a prison cell.
Yeah.
And they've been taken hostage.
Yeah.
And then there's this amazing introduction to the antagonist called Vaz, is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's scary from the off. Tell us a bit more about him.
He's running this kind of human trafficking ring on this island, and he's got his fingers in all kinds of horrible pies. You know, he's running human trafficking, animal trafficking, drugs, you name it, you name the vice, he's involved with it. And Vas is this guy who's really got no boundaries at all. He's really got nothing there to kind of stop him from doing whatever he wants to do, and he gets right in your face very, very early on. And you can really feel this kind of personal connection with him, where he's really kind of saying, I'm going to mess you up. And that's the thing, we want this character that's going to be really kind of like off the rails, off the hook, and really kind of like getting at you and at Jason as a character.
What's interesting about the dynamic between these two guys is Jason seems a bit wet behind the ears. He seems like a bit of a wuss at the start. And I guess that's part of the RPG element of the game. You're levelling up, but you've got a justification to level up, because at the start he's never killed anyone before.
No.
It's not as if this guy's a mercenary who's, you know, ex-army, like so many first-person shooters are.
Yeah.
This bloke's a bit like me,
Yeah.
just scared of everything.
It's great that you feel like he's just like you, because that's exactly what we want. We want you to feel like, okay, this could be me. And how would you react in that situation? You know, what would happen to you if you know your brother's killed in front of you? What does that do to you as a person? You know, how do you react to that? You know, do you go and sit in a corner and curl up and kind of hide from the whole thing? Jason's the kind of guy that really kind of goes after it. You know, he starts off and he is really wet behind the ears. He is this real fish out of water. But then gradually he kind of evolves and he develops as a character. And we want that to be mirrored in the systems that we have there. So we've got these kind of RPG elements where Jason's kind of following the path of the warrior. We have these native people that live on the island called the Rakyat, and they kind of take him under their wing and he kind of takes on their fight. And so he progresses down their path and kind of gets better at fighting and moving around on the island.
Are there lots of vehicles to play with in this game as well?
We've got about 15 different kind of vehicles in the game. So we've got, you know, there's boats out there, there's like jet skis, we've got kind of patrol boats, we've got like a larger kind of river patrol boat with like a 50 cal on it. If you're driving around in the world, we've got like quads and buggies and jeeps and technicals and massive cargo trucks. We've got the glider in there as well, which is a big hit from Far Cry 2, so we wanted to bring that in, so you know you can fly around the world and kind of spot things off in the distance and then kind of glide over to it. This will be something that's going to sound a bit weird. One of my favourite weapons in the game is actually the rock, because you can throw rocks and then the NPCs are going to hear it and they're going to go over and explore it. One of my favourite things to do is you stick a landmine in a bush and then you throw a rock, the guy goes over to go and have a look and see what's going on and it all explodes.
Final question, if you've never played Far Cry the first and you've never played Far Cry 2, is this accessible?
It's a very important thing for us is that the game is accessible, that the game is you know, you're not going to feel like you're lost in the world, you're not going to feel like you can't do it, but that we guide you into the world in a way that you can get in there and you can enjoy it. There's a lot of action there if you want it. There's a massive world to explore where it's constantly going to feel like there's things going on around you that you can really get your teeth into. There's a really great driven storyline about this kind of really emotional progression of this character. So for me, I mean, I think we're ticking a lot of boxes.